Why not take a picture? We can move on to weightier matters.
Such as?
Such as our current quandary. Enlighten us. I prefer to search alone.
Think that's smart?
I do, yes. Considering one or more of you might already be planning my untimely demise. Out of my way, Narwhal. Monokuma's made that perfectly clear. From where else should the incentive come for us to kill?
What? What would even be the point?
I'm afraid she's deceased. Homicide. I'm sorry, but if you're innocent, the burden of proof is on you. Yes, it's clearly stated in the rules.
I see. In other words, no one stands to gain anything from opting to team up.
Well, if memory serves, I believe the phrase tossed out a little earlier was luring someone to their death. Sheath implies as much. Had things gone according to plan. Oh, I'm sorry. You have a
Yes, quite right. The murderer is still at large, and time is short.
Let's get to it then. It's one of us. It won't even turn on. Cut-rate piece of junk.
Not that I believed we could Google our way out of this mess, but it did cross my mind.
Apparently, the author of our misfortune claimed it once it was deserted, and then he set the stage for this twisted little play. It is a game, you Philistine.
A zero-sum game, correct?
No, and why would it?
Even with your life on the line, you don't waver.
So you do understand me. Shall I spell it out for the rest of you plebeians? You voted Kawata guilty right along with the rest of us. Don't make me repeat myself. Just do as I tell you. Your stench is an insult.
Believed it back before this place, but now I just don't know.
Naegi, you're with me. The locker room. A prime setting for the taking of a life.
Huh? Yeah, if you say so, Togami. Wait! Guys can't go in there!
Bloodbath fever, huh? Interesting. There's something primal about the scene. Another killer on the loose, and the game is officially afoot once again. This is the work of Genocider Show. Follow me. It's not released to the public.
What the heck are they even doing here? How do we know this stuff is for real?
Your skepticism is healthy, but I assure you, these are genuine. They match the copies in my study at home. Also, every one of his victims thus far has been crucified, although that detail is only known to a select few officers.
Without the crazy talk, okay?
Thus, it's high time to name the culprit. Would you care to rack your brains, or shall I just tell you who it is? Obviously. Chihiro Fujisaki's killer is... Genocider Show! The second motif is important, as it's never been disseminated to the public at large. Without fail, every one of Show's victims... I think it would be fair to say she's a show and a note. Be a good girl, why don't you, and let the lady in question tell us the rest. And so we have found our killer. Fujisaki was slain by Genocider Show. She had clear motive. Face it, Show has a very specific modus operandi, and it matches this death to a T. Then how does it...
Single one was bludgeoned.
We're gathered here in the pursuit of justice. Your twisted kinks aren't germane to the issue at hand. Ass-face! Russ! I say, where's... So I killed Fujisaki in the girls' locker rooms of a known murderer, throwing suspicion elsewhere and covering my tracks. Does that summon... What do you mean?
But the real killer already knew. Therefore, you can't be our culprit.
I guess that works. Your evidence is purely circumstantial, but it clears my name. As theories go, it'll do. It's exactly as Naegi claims. I'm not the guilty party. I was testing your powers of deduction, and unnerving the killer with this late revelation. Excellent. Our little guessing games found its second win. I am going to survive this. That's all the rest of you need to know. The moment I'm declared the winner, I'm going to find a way to end you, little demon. I swear on my good name.
Out!
Who are you calling a bit pup? What sadistic scheme have you cooked up now? Consider this. We have a traitor in our ranks. Oh, come on. If I'm the only one who thought of this, the rest of you aren't even trying.
Since when's it our job to watch him?
Is something the matter? He's cornered himself then. You're joking. Why would the killer have made off with Yamada's corpse? 2 murders within moments of each other, and then evidence already discovered is moved.
What are you talking about?
Ishimaru's no longer among the living. We found him in the physics lab storage room. Second, and most importantly, there are two classmates of ours rather tellingly unaccounted for.
Hold up. I know what you're thinking, but Kirigiri was with us all in the cafeteria. That was when we heard Celestia scream.
Interesting. Well, that would appear to give her a decent alibi.
Yes, naturally. But I suppose that points the finger at Hagakure being Justice Robo, doesn't it?
Which means the rest of us aren't in danger. The school rules were abundantly clear on that point. Search the room! Every detail!
Investigation, then trial!
The damn bear. As if he weren't taxing enough, he has to suck all the fun out of this round.
Thanks for the buzzkill!
Let's get him. Explanation. Out with it! This is no time to play coy. If you want us to take your story seriously, I suggest you find it. All but one of us if we're wrong. And after playing dead for you, what pray tell did Yamada think was next on his to-do list?
Stammer something to the effect of his having barely escaped with his life, or what have you. If pressed for details, he could always feign amnesia.
But then he mentioned something about hostages, and she stood down.
Well, isn't that convenient? All right. To what end did your master plan your little charade? There you have it. She's been waiting this whole time for an opportune moment in which to pout. So what? It's one less person in the enemy's ranks.
How dare you!
Temper, temper. Look, if you want me dead, do your worst. Are you going to slap me to death? You'll forgive me if I'm not quaking in my boots. You weren't summoned for a casual chat. Are you the one who killed Sakura Ogami? Put simply, Sho's testimony is corroborated by the evidence. That is where she attacked Ogami. And how did they dispatch such a fierce target? Here's the answer to the latter.
What's that?
A little souvenir from the chem lab. Deadly poison. Now, why would this bottle be sitting among the health supplements? Well then, have a ball. I can't possibly imagine what these two facts might imply. It's safe to assume they were made with sneakers. Don't be a fool! Asahina confessed to the deed! You would acquit her over an errant shade? The killer was Ogami herself? Asahina's actions make no sense! Tell us what— Monokuma, your game no longer holds any appeal, so I quit. Don't worry. You'll still get your fix. We'll send someone to the gallows, all right. You don't mind if it's your boss, do you? That room's a candidate for where it took place. Oh, I don't know, perhaps you could start out by telling us all who you really are. Point made, Fukawa. And for the love of onions, control your halitosis. So it's to be amnesia then. Rather a tired device, don't you think? Very well. Why you chose secrecy I cannot surmise, but c'est la vie. To keep it. In all other hands, the knife is a liability. Interesting. It appears bombs come standard in these contraptions. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Did I neglect to mention I've already deactivated the sensor? I've a feeling something unforeseen befell the mastermind pulling Monokuma's strings. He seems to be a mouthpiece for the principal, the man alter ego believed to be behind this.
She was pretty adamant about it.
Snap out of it, the woman is mendacity personified. Either way, our course is clear. The next move in this morbid scavenger hunt is a I told you to bring back a medic! I can't answer the first question yet, but to the second, I'd say murder. Damn it! There goes our evidence! And hello, what do you open? Oh, I see. You thought dropping this bombshell would be a nice ratings booster. Without a doubt, the murderer is Kirigiri! The sprinkler system exonerates the— Lack of alibi isn't the only factor. The choice of weapon used to kill this Mukuro Ikusaba points incontrovertibly at you as well. Kindly stop trying to think, please. I've already discovered the weapon myself. It was in fact a quiver of Duralumin arrows I found in a dojo lock. And it just so happens the quiver of arrows in question were held together, with a length of blood-spattered masking tape. The easy explanation? Hyoko Kirigiri is the killer! Specifically, the dojo locker's key. Nix the charade! You've been painted into a— Really? So you do nothing in your defense but— Damn it all, I knew Naegi wasn't— I think it's safe to assume the rules have changed. To what? Upon enrollment, students had no visible scars. That conflicts with Monokuma's report. It said,
Dawn is dawn, even when it's not so golden. Even...
What do we say specifically? Ikusaba and Enoshima were twins? Damn it. Get a hold of yourself. We need her. Enough! This is ridiculous! That is a vicious lie! The very name Togami is the Alpha and Omega! That's not true. As Naegi says, it's only been a matter of weeks. It quite simply is not possible. Unless, of course, the memory wipe goes back even further than we thought.
Togami, what would your family have done? Even if the world had gone to hell in a handbasket, wouldn't your family may be penniless, but you can't afford to give up!
Well played, sir. But just so we're clear, I need no encouragement from the rank and file like you. I've made a promise, and to men of breeding, our word is our bond. Well, I'd say the jig is up. Pity, you nearly succeeded.
Hope BYAKUYA?
Pleasure to hear from you. Even if you do appear a bit harried. What's wrong? Aren't you on trial or some nonsense? So, a mutual killing game? I assure you, there has been no such program. It would be very intensive. I don't believe the remnants have the wherewithal these days. No, scratch that. The peacekeeping squad answers directly to the vice chairman. Ergo, we may reasonably deduce whatever the meeting's outcome. Kyosuke Munakata means to treat the inhabitants of said island as remnants. You heard the man. The Foundation is in danger. Troubling, yes, but we dare not expose her while she's so close to them. Who knows what she might do. Monica Towa, who's currently below the radar somewhere in Towa City. I'll wager she's our maestro. Perhaps I'm lost in your eyes, perhaps not. Perhaps I should put you in handcuffs.
Please, Master, take me skiing. I want us to cause an avalanche with our love.
Papa! Popsy!
You're so glorious by comparison.
Stop. No, go on.
Come, my trembling mountain orchid. Let us throw propriety to the wind and conceive our 19th child right here.
Darling, please, the others will see us. Oh my goodness,
I don't care, say yes.
Everything all right, sir? You seem uncomfortable.
Yes, I was just struck by the uncanny sense that a certain someone is fantasizing well beyond the scope of her station. I'm fine. Continue the report.
Sir.
If the remnants of despair intend for Foundation brass to kill one another, as Naegi maintains, broadcasting it would be an essential part of their broader objective. And yet, so far, no other divisions report the slightest indication of remnant activity. This new killing game has to be a means to a far more nefarious end. Attention, all agents. As I speak, the leaders of the Future Foundation are under a clear and do not fret. As long as I draw breath, this organization will not fall. This I swear by the dignity of the Togami name. One of us killed? Absurd. I have to ask you to stay out here. Reminds me of Hope's Peak. You idiot! Beg your pardon? At whom are you pointing those firearms? How disappointing. For someone so famously lucky, you look like hell. You sound as though heroes are made in a vacuum. I don't expect our friends would have gotten far without hope. And hope is contagious. Is it not?
Still though, if all you do is sit and wait, nothing happens.